Hello and welcome back to Halo Forever, where of course I play Halo and I'm joined from a personal friend, fan of Halo, new friend, which of course today I am joined by the everyone talks to you about as the biggest Halo fan out there, and I'm very excited to finally get a chance to speak to you on a one-to-one level because we've seen each other throughout the internet. But of course, I'm
Yes.
speaking about Alex Balant. How you doing, Alex?
Hello. I am so happy to be here. Literally, the second you said that this was going to be a thing, I knew I had to be involved. And I'm so happy that my legacy of being the biggest Halo dweeb lives on.
Yeah, you're definitely recommended as a massive Halo dweeb. Of course, I know a friend of the show, Mitch George, who also definitely recommended for you to be here. So I do want to give a shout out to that. So thank you so much, Mitch. But of course, Alex, I've seen you around. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, my name is Alex, also on the internet known as Blatantly Alex, which is a play off of my last name. And yeah, I'm your average film student who is trying to maybe be a content creator, but also I don't really know what I do. I just kind of hang out. Sometimes I do a podcast, Press YYZ. That's kind of fun too. As well, I did a documentary about another kind of funny best friend, Steve Saylor, called Access Granted. Yeah, I kind of do a lot of things, but also not. I'm not really well defined, unfortunately.
That's actually kind of perfect. That's very much how I feel as well. I'm also a fellow film student who sort of found his way into content creation down the way, which, yeah, I wanted to do movies and videos, and I still do. By the end of the day, I still want to do that. But for now,
Hmm.
I will settle for this wonderful Halo show. So before we continue, obviously, again, thank you, everyone. It's been a wild journey. This is the penultimate episode. There's only one more episode of season one of Halo Forever, which of course we've done all of Halo Combat Evolved, the anniversary edition as well. And thank you, all the praise, all the fun. I literally just started at a lot of things in my life. Just start with the tweet, and then y'all show me some love, and I'm like, you know what, let's make it happen. And so through the power of you guys, this is a thing. Also, for the people that don't necessarily have time to watch a full like video, this also is an audio podcast, which you can find it on iTunes. You can find it on Google Podcasts as well as Spotify and some other places. So again, you can listen to it there as well. All right, before we start,
All right.
is there a specific skull that you would want to put on to add a little spice to the episode?
Oh, I don't know because of this level, we're not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Grunt Birthday Party is always a classic.
That is always a classic, yes.
Um, Yeah, I always also do because I've played this game so many times. I love the I would have been your daddy skull. That one's always great, having
Yes.
that sort of alternate dialogue. So those are kind of the big ones. There's no like I don't think we need to do anything like crazy like
Yeah.
any the actual multiplier skulls.
Fair
I
enough.
think it's we can just have a nice little journey.
Yeah, let's just have a nice little journey. Instead, though, I will put Grunts die in a blaze of glory. Well, we'll do we'll
That's
do that.
okay. That one's a good one.
That is a good one. We're of course playing on normal. Like I said, I'm not trying to have the game beat me. We're just trying to get through the level and have a nice, lovely conversation. So, without further ado, let's begin the level keys. So, I'm gonna go ahead and start with loading on in. There we go. So, film student.
Yes,
What got
current film student
current film
as
student?
well.
Do you want to say
Yes.
the school or should we hold off on that?
Um, I mean I don't really hide it mostly
Hmm.
because it's geotagged in every single photo I post from it.
Sure.
So, it's a school in Toronto, Ontario. You figure it out if you really want to.
Got it. Got it. That's awesome. And in
Yeah.
terms of how long have you been there so far?
So I just finished my second year and I
Okay.
am now going into my third and final.
Okay. Let's see. We got flood happening here.
Uh this especially for 2001, this is so cool to have like different factions of enemies fighting each other. This is
Yes.
something you still don't even see a lot even today. Like
No,
it's not super common.
no. I mean, the last like major like conflict, and honestly, it feels similar. Is Last of Us Part Two last year?
Yeah.
There's a big section where there's just people just going after each other and setting everything on fire. Very similar to
Mm.
that, but otherwise, yeah. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, here we are.
Yep, we're in the
Back
Halo.
on the Truth and Reconciliation. I'm
I
gonna try and not just drop all of this Halo
no,
lore and
I
knowledge that I
want
have.
so I want you to, because yeah, like I said, this is the first time I think I'm having someone that's like heavily deep in the lore of Halo. I've said already
Yes.
previous that like my history with Halo comes from interaction with people playing like the LAN parties and stuff like that. Playing through the campaign all the way through, and that's about it. I don't go into the comics. I don't really go into the books or anything. So if you have any deep seated stuff, by all means.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, I particularly, specifically with Halo
Yeah.
1 and 2, I was very much more into the, like, just the campaign for it, because I didn't
Hmm.
have Xbox Live when it first sort of came out, so
Gotcha.
really, not until oh, I love this,
Oh, oh yeah, there's
oh,
that's right. I forgot. No, I forgot. We
yeah,
fall right through the pole.
yeah. And then you're right into the thick of it. But yeah, so like Halo, I was obsessed with like the campaign for it, of 1 and 2. I kind of played them continuously. They were like, I was the weird kid who had an Xbox growing up. Not very many people did. It was always either a GameCube or a PlayStation 2, I found.
Yep.
And yeah, so it's like it was something I shared a lot with my brother. We played Halo both like one v oneing. He was always better than me because he was many years older, so he had a lot of experience. But then we just played the co-op campaign as well a lot, and so I just kind of really took to the lore of the game and and then it only expanded further. I'm not super big into the comics or the books, but I do kind of read the Wikipedias for them.
Sure, sure.
So
Yeah, I haven't gone. Was it Brian Michael Gilbert, who just read all 25 or 27 of like all the Halo
yeah.
novels, including graphic novels? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. I haven't done that for for like Star Wars or anything. So, but for the more power to you, for all the people that are fans of all this different media. However, I will be checking out the Halo TV show when that eventually comes out.
I'm very interested in that, mostly because like all of the announcements of like casting, besides like the main characters like Chief,
Mm,
Cortana, and Miranda Keys, and as well Captain Keys.
hmm
I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember his first name. Um, but like all of every other character that has been announced for it are like these super deep cut lore characters. So who is this? What is this show going to be about? Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah. I have no clue. I mean, I thought it was probably a retelling of Halo, but then there's some additional stuff in there. So
Yeah.
I have no
So,
clue. Oh, oh, ooh.
oh god,
There's a,
I realize I have abandoned you.
no, I'm right here. I'm right behind you.
Oh,
Yeah. So
there we go.
let me go ahead and start with the number one question that I ask literally every guest is, can you
Yes.
tell me the story of your gamer tag?
Of my current one?
Either or. You can tell me a past one. Like
Okay.
I've told all my past ones.
Okay. I've got a couple. They're pretty much until the current one that I'm at now, which is
Hmm.
just again it's a playoff of my last name, because my last name is Balant, and so I like to think that I try and be very blatant about what I'm all about, and my passions for things. So I think it fits rather well. But then the very first gamer tag I had was Predator 2888, and the reason was
Okay.
because my brother was Hunter, and so I was like, well, I wanted to be like him, and so I kind of thought like tried to find like I basically went to like a thesaurus and just okay, Predator Hunter, those are close enough, and then I copied his numbers as well. Oh no, I died.
Oh no. Oh no.
Damn, they
Should
got me.
it should be good. It should be bad. There's nobody here. It should be fine.
But yeah, so that was a big one. Then for a little while I did the Bionic Gamer because trying to I was trying to do like the YouTube stuff.
Mm,
You know, thank God that I came to my senses and I deleted all of those very terrible Minecraft Let's Plays that I once did.
okay.
Um but yeah, so there was that because I also just like before I even knew what cyberpunk was, I always thought like cyborgs were super, super cool.
Yeah.
And so like, that was kind of a thing for me. It still kind of is.
Yeah.
If right there, I've got the cyberpunk controller and I've got a bunch of cyberpunk memorabilia. Though that was before the game had come out. I don't know if I would have bought that now, but you know, it's still cool.
Have you
Yeah,
played?
so those are like,
Good.
what's
Good.
up?
No, go ahead. Finish your
Oh,
story.
oh yeah, just those are like the two big ones, and then I landed on Blade. I think for a little while I did Canadian Alex. There was a while where I was like just trying to lean into like my name because I always thought that that was like it's good to kind of like still be recognized for me. And then eventually I think this one's permanent. Blatantly Alex.
No, it's a solid moniker. Honestly, whenever you have some alliteration, I think it definitely works.
Yeah.
You know, now I feel like I'm stuck with that Mario Rivera. I can never change from it because now it's just become synonymous with my name.
Hmm.
So, but no, all the power to you. Let's see. I wanted to ask you actually about your documentary. So what got you involved in that in the first place? Was it because you had a idea first, or did Steven Taylor actually reach out to you specifically?
So, so the documentary all came from the fact that it was a school project.
Okay.
The way that my school works is for the second year of our program, we, for the first half, we do a documentary, and all the documentaries are pitched by the students. And then they get decided on like which ones get made. And so I always, from the way that my program is kind of laid out, the documentaries are like the one project that you really get where you have basically the freedom to make whatever you want as long as you fit within like these specific parameters. And so
Gotcha.
I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to make it like make something. At first, I had like a bunch of. I knew it was gonna be video game related too because that's kind of like my big thing.
Hmm.
And I was thinking like, oh, do I want it to be about developers? Do I want it? And then we had this like I just kind of was thinking like who's an interesting person that I know. And recently, like a few months previously, I had met Steve Saylor and started following him on Twitter. And from there I was like, well, Steve's pretty cool. Then The Last of Us Part 2 came out, and I said, oh, it's definitely going to be Steve. That's just literally perfect.
Yes.
And so from there, it was just me reaching out to him. He immediately was down because he also went to the school he went to the school and he teaches at the school that I'm
Oh, okay.
currently attending. So it was just like it was perfect on so many levels. And then from there, it just kind of continued to evolve from there. I just knew that my crux was going to be Steve Saylor, and from there, just kind of continued to evolve it from there. Then, like, it came out that he was a part of that he helped with Watch Dogs Legion and just like all of these. I mean, last year he had like literally a crazy crazy year, and it was kind of cool because I feel like I got to be on the inside of that and really get to in some ways in some ways I got to be a part of it just a little bit, and that was really cool.
No, absolutely. And the fact that I would say that in terms of the pandemic, it has brought up a lot of voices, and specifically, I think it definitely brought up, Stevens being out there in terms of his coverage with The Last of Us and his involvement with some of the things and being able to bring his input and his knowledge about it. I think that was wonderful, and
Hmm.
I really think that everything that sort of has been coming is because ultimately he's a really good person and he
Yes.
really just means well. And for you to highlight that in a documentary, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. I really do like I every time I see something new from him, I just think, God damn, you deserve it, dude. For at every possible turn. And so, I was really glad to. And also just it was a way for me to kind of in some ways get my foot just like get a toe in the door
Of course.
because you know, he's very very well connected and it allowed me to connect myself to some people that it's still kind of benefiting me even having finished it like more than 8 months ago at this point.
Yeah. And have you been showing it in festivals as well?
Yeah, so part of there's a little I can't unfortunately have it publicly.
Yes,
So basically it's like if anyone ever wants to see it, I will show it in an instant, but like I can't have it publicly available.
of course.
Partly because of festivals. There are some festivals that we have both applied to and are also currently are in two. Um, Canadian Diversity Film Festival and it's bad that I can't remember the other name of it.
No, it's
But
okay.
yeah,
This is
there's
getting very hectic right now, so I don't blame you.
yeah.
I'm like
I
about to
mean
die.
that's the flood for you.
Yeah,
They are just make your brain go just completely blank.
yeah, little popcorn.
Um, Yeah, but also part of it is my school owns half the rights for it, and so
Sure.
if and when I want to get it publicly available, because I really think that it both deserves to be publicly available because it's just a great message. It's you know kind of great for everyone involved. More people will get to see it if
Hmm.
it's available, and just so it's gonna be a conversation that I'm gonna have, but
Oh
for
no,
right now, I'm just kind of letting it. Yeah, I know I keep dying.
no, it's okay. I came right back. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah, just kind of for right now, I'm just kind of like letting it kind of rest a little bit. Still trying to push it as much as I possibly can, but eventually I'm gonna have those talks to get it available, and I really hope that one day I can like just like have it be not like people need to reach out for me and I like send them a private link for it.
Gotcha, gotcha. Let's see. So, what got you into filmmaking in the first place? What was the thing that led you to down this road?
That's an interesting question for me
Of
because
course.
like I feel like there's I mean like with kind of I feel like when anyone gets into kind of like just making art, there's
Hmm.
always so many things that inspire them. Like I can say like favorite movies,
Of course.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World and Mad Max Fury Road like are a couple that like that was like,
Yes.
oh, those are art. Those are like just
Yes.
super incredible art. But then I also think about, and this is why I was super excited to come on this show. I kind of attribute a lot of my desire to be in a creative medium to Halo, to Rooster Teeth, and Red versus Blue
Oh my
specifically.
God, yes. That is such a great point. Rooster Teeth has done
Yes.
so much for my life that I wasn't aware of until literally the last several years of my life now, with leading to
Yeah.
me even here. So yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Rooster Teeth has definitely been a massive part of that, and Halo is part of that legacy.
Yeah. Like I really kind of I think you can connect the dots far enough back that it's like kind of Halo influenced so much of just everything that I want to do. And that's why I like, that's part of the reason why I'm so ride or die by it because like
Hmm.
regardless of what I think about the new games, regardless of if, the games don't live up to what I want them to be, Halo 1 through Reach will always be as good as they are and they've clearly like stood up to the test of time
Yes.
and they will always continue to
Oh,
influence me. It's such an important part of my life that like I'm going to try and, be careful for your video, but like I have the mark of shame tattooed on
oh
me
wow.
because yeah,
Okay.
partly I mean that's a whole multi-level thing as well in itself because it's both for my love of Halo. It's so this is gonna already
By
tangent
all
off
means,
quite a
by all
bit,
means,
but
go into tangent. I talked about Gone in 60 Seconds for a while, so don't you worry.
fair enough. I just, sometimes I get self-aware of it, but I will continue. So with my tattoo, like, I don't really hide this, but I'm a little bit removed from it. Oh, I blew up by that grunt. I forget grunt bodies are very dangerous,
Yes,
but oh, I love the chain reaction of explosions that happen in this game. It's so
it
awesome.
is.
But yeah, so the mark of shame is, people will be like, why would you get that tattooed on you? That should be like a symbol of, whatever, like a symbol of, shame. But for me, I had chemotherapy, or I had leukemia 2 years ago, and basically it completely took over my entire life that whole time. Because it's such an involved process that it really was. I couldn't do anything else but have cancer and be working through it.
Sure.
Um, and part of that was over the course of the process, now I'm dead, I can show. I
Yeah.
have these stretch marks, like these really, really intense stretch marks, both due to weight gain via like drugs, like steroids that I was given
Hmm.
to help like the healing process. And so it's this forever these like this scarring that I have on my body that I can't hide from. It's on a pretty prominent place. Like I wear any t-shirt, people are going to see it.
Yeah.
And there's a line in Halo 2 when the Arbiter first gets the mark and the White Elite shipmaster
Yes.
is says to him like that armor suits you, but it'll never hide that scar. And he says nothing ever will. And for me, and then just the arc that the Arbiter goes throughout the course of Halo 2 and Halo 3, it really impacted me because also as the little brother, I played as the Arbiter in Halo 3 when we
Yep.
played co-op with my brother. So it's like there's so many of these layers to it that it's like the Arbiter is my favorite character in all of Halo. I think he's so awesome, voiced by Keith David. So many things about it that just make him an ultimate badass.
Yes.
And also, he takes this thing that like, was supposed to be this thing to bring him down to really like, it's the reason why he became the Arbiter. He's like shamed by it, and he's using it as a symbol of rebellion. Of no, I'm not going to take this lying down. And something about that really, like, the more I thought about it, I died again to another grunt. Oh man,
This skull is doing work for us.
yeah,
Oh shit.
you're really putting me on your back there.
No, it's okay. Primarily, it's I'm happy because it does extend the episode, so we keep talking and keep having these wonderful
Mm,
conversations. So that's the reason why
yes,
I like the skulls.
yes,
You know, I want it to be easy, but not too easy.
of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was such a huge moment for me, and it was like as I started to appreciate Halo 2 more and more and more, because Halo 2, incredible story for a
Yeah.
first-person shooter. It's about a dude who realizes his entire religion is a lie. That's insane that was. Oh no, dropped the controller.
Oh
My
no.
Steam controller fell on the floor.
Oh no.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. There's a lot of grunts over here, and this is not gonna be fun.
Oh
Here we
god.
go. Oh god,
Uh,
they're coming. Here.
oh no. Oh,
Okay.
oh god, the carrier form.
Yep.
Yeah, so kind of to answer the first question, Halo, Red versus Blue, and also just the desire to create.
No, I mean, I think. Oh, now I died. So enjoy that. Uh, no, I think everything that you said is wonderful and is a big piece of our story growing up. Big Halo has become sort of a milestone for many things, and for the fact that
Mhm.
it could be a milestone for recovery for you, and the idea that you now wear it as a honor badge or as something as it's just a part of you. No, I think
Mhm.
that's special, and I have that in memories. I have that in you know Halo means so much to me, but it reminds me of childhood. Specifically, that I had a mystical group of people that would like hang out every weekend, and we would play hacky sack, and we would play card games and the Simpsons card games and Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic and all these things, and we would hang out all the time, play Dungeons and Dragons in the back of a comic book shop, and we would play Halo together at night. And Halo has just permeated these deep-seated memories that I will never ever forget, and still think about those people to my day. They're my mentors, Brian and
Mhm.
Rusty and everyone that owned the store. I so that's where I think of Halo. I think they become deep rooted, memories, and that becomes my armor. That becomes my history, right? That becomes the things that make me. So the fact that Halo could do that for you in such a beautiful way is the best way I can describe it. Is a slight tear going down my eye. I'm not gonna lie. No, it's absolutely wonderful. No, for certain, dude. That's an
Mm.
awesome story. Let's see. Yeah, Halo just means so many things to so many people.
Mm.
Even if you don't
Definitely.
like Halo, you could still find something, I feel. Let's see.
if you've ever owned an Xbox, it's because of Halo.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sorry, KOTOR and Mech Assault. No, it was really Halo. Oh, actually, you know what? I give a little bit to Splinter Cell. Just saying, Splinter
Yeah,
Cell.
that's
It was
that's fair.
PS2. It was PS2, but man, that Xbox Live of that was like,
Yeah.
it's on par with me with Halo 2. So in terms of Halo 2, so you said you didn't have Xbox Live for a while. Is that what you said? Did you play Halo 2 multiplayer?
Until
Till
I
three?
did not. It was not until 3.
Got you. Do you have any launch stories with Halo? Like, do you have any like?
Uh, so the first launch for Halo that I got to experience was Halo 3 ODST.
Okay.
Because Halo 3 was a Christmas gift to me and my brother
Very nice.
in the Christmas of 2007, because like that we were fine with our Xbox, our original Xbox, for basically until Halo 3 came out.
Mhm.
And then from there, that opened up a whole can of worms. But yeah, so it really was Halo 3 ODST because my brother picked it up at the GameStop. I unfortunately don't think. Oh, no, there's stuff on it. We got this interesting, not a collector's edition. I don't know. I've never seen anyone else have this thing. It is a controller carrying case that is shaped like the rocket launcher, like ammo pack.
Really?
And it yeah, it's really cool. It's got like the spanker on it, and it's this really cool thing. It carries two Xbox 360 controllers and like 4 or 5 games on the top of it. And they gave it to my brother. I'm not sure if he paid extra for it or if it was
Okay.
like an add-on thing for picking up the first day. But yeah, so that was like the biggest one. And then we beat it that day. Same thing with Halo Reach. And then Halo 4 was kind of the last one that we played co-op together.
Sure.
But like each one, it was like this big ceremony of getting it and bringing like immediately playing through the entire thing that day. No resting. So unfortunately, no midnight launches for me. But it was kind
Gotcha.
of uh,
Oh,
such a brutal moment.
yeah. And it's funny because I'm switching back and forth between the different graphics, and I remember the original graphics being so impactful, but by comparison, it's just far less gross than the
Yeah,
actual. Like, oh my god, there's a guy right in front of my face.
there's a
Uh,
lot of guys.
oh, I'm dead. I literally
Uh,
did the left turn and someone was right in my face.
all right, I'll try not join you.
No,
But
for sure.
the yeah, I'm not gonna get super deep into it, but I
Sure.
really dislike the anniversary graphics for this game.
You do.
But
Okay.
I will say, I think it really ruins the art style for Halo,
Okay.
and that's a whole debate in the Halo community of art styles and stuff. So I won't go super deep into it. But I will say that, yeah, like Keys is a proto Gravemind is what I believe that sack is called, is
Mm,
a is definitely one of the best art style decisions they made for it, because it really shows the intensity of what he was going through.
yeah, and then you can even see faces of other people too throughout the game. That's
Yeah,
that's that's also sick.
yeah.
I'm just
It
gonna
really,
jump off that platform.
yeah. Because I think in the original game, I have no basis for this, but I'm just mostly going by the design of it.
Sure,
I
sure,
don't think they really knew what that was until Halo 2, when they introduced what the Gravemind was,
sure,
and like
sure.
the fact that it is this collection of all flood intelligence. And so, I do like that they updated that for anniversary. I think it's one of the best decisions that
Yeah,
343 did make with Halo 1 anniversary.
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right in terms of the original like aesthetic, especially the ships and stuff like that. I mean, very heavily James Cameron inspired by. Were you a James Cameron fan
Yeah.
at all?
I mean, definitely. Like, I mean, he has some of like the all-time classics. I know for
Yes.
sure, like Alien and Aliens, or well, he didn't do Alien, but Aliens was
Yes.
a big part of my childhood for
Wow.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny enough. Like, obviously, Terminator is probably the biggest thing, and I fell in love with Halo, and then it wasn't until like years later that I think I watched. I still haven't seen The Abyss. I've seen clips of The Abyss, and
Mm.
seeing the alien ship, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's the Covenant ship from Halo. Like, what's happening here? That was the first illusion of like, oh, okay, got it. This game is obviously heavily inspired by a lot of James Cameron's work,
Yeah,
which you
it's
could
kind of
clone the Marines.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing how it's like Halo was super heavily inspired by Aliens, and then so many things became inspired by Halo.
Yes.
That it's kind of like this. Everything's a remix.
Yeah.
There's nothing is original, but everything is kind of original.
No, for sure. And everyone's gonna have their the thing that they're gonna take away from it and then expand upon it. Like I think there's so many people that tried to do some of the Marty O'Donnell music, and some succeed, and some I'm like, yeah. But yeah, for sure, everyone takes their spin on it. Oh, teleport right behind you. Okay, we're trying to escape this level because it's very disgusting, and I'm tired of these grunts. These grunts are doing some heavy damage to us every time we go by. Oh, I came back to life.
Yeah, now we're fighting the Covenant Special Ops because they now know what we're doing. They know what our plan is.
Let's see. Oh no. Have you? Oh, damn, I'm dead. Have you tried to? Where's the highest difficulty that you've been in a Halo game? Have you tried to do this in Legendary?
So Halo 1, I've done. I mean, all of the games for when I got the Master Chief Collection. I did Heroic because I think Heroic is probably the I think we have to go this way. Heroic is I would say the difficulty to play Halo at least for first time go through, because it's hard enough that it's you can't just kind of turn your brain off and just kind of run through it, but it's not absurdly difficult that the power fantasy of Halo gets ruined. So I have beaten everything but Halo 2 on Legendary, because Halo 2 is the hardest game I've ever played. It fucking sucks to play Halo 2 on Legendary.
I remember trying in my very early days, trying to do Halo 2, and we were doing it was just the second level. No, it was the first level. And the bugs and the crunch, just for some reason, just the plasma guns suck on that Legendary, dude.
Yeah, and you didn't even experience the pain of Jackal snipers.
No, I didn't. And it was just like, we're stopping here. We're switching. We're lowering it down. There's no way. The only game that was and it was part of the experience was Halo 3. I did on Legendary, but I did it with a full squad co-op, primarily because it was launch night. It was we grabbed the game from the GameStop, played until 5-7 o'clock in the morning, and then just had a blast. Experienced the end of Halo. I'm trying to not cry in front of my friends, but I was gonna cry in front of my friends because supposedly something bad happens to the chief. I'm not gonna spoil that for people that haven't experienced that yet, but fun things were had during Halo 3 specifically. Okay, I do love that Halo 2 specifically is your favorite. Is that correct?
Halo 3 is my favorite.
Halo 3 is your favorite.
I think Halo 2 is the. See, it's hard because I have such an affinity for kind of all of them.
Sure.
Halo 2 and Halo 3 swap a good amount. I think campaign-wise, I think Halo 2 is stronger narratively.
Gotcha.
But sandbox-wise, I think Halo 3 is the best game in the franchise.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, it's just... I feel like it's different every time I play it, where Halo 2, I think, was a little bit more linear, and I think a lot of that came from the limitations that they were already starting to experience with the original Xbox.
Gotcha.
And so, it had to be smaller, the levels couldn't have been expansive, and so, things like that. But, I would say Halo 3 is definitively my favorite, but Halo 2, I think, has the best story.
Gotcha. And I've heard from... Oh, sorry, the music is loud on my TV too. I'm trying to move my microphone a little bit far away. The way that I, of course, have to play this game is I have to play it off on a monitor. I can't hear the game audio unless it's from the television. I've lowered that volume as low as I can so I can at least hear some of it. But the Halo music can't be contained, it just cannot be contained. What I was basically alluding to is that it sounds like that obviously the original all the way up to Reach, all the Bungie related Halo games is definitely something that holds true in your heart. What about the 343 era? What are your thoughts on the 343?
Oh, okay. That's a can of worms. We're getting close to the end of the level.
We pause at the end screen. We talk a little bit longer, so that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Fair enough.
Oh.
We got hunters. I love in this game, they die one hit back with the pistol. That's
Thank you.
just how broken the Halo 1 Magnum
Oh
is.
my god, yes.
But so the 343 games are an interesting conversation because I think Halo 4 and Halo 5, I think they are good games. I don't like playing Halo 4 or Halo 5 because I think that they really are just kind of everything that I don't want in a Halo game. Halo 4 is a Call of Duty copycat, especially in the multi. This is mostly in reference to the multiplayer. I think
Sure.
Halo 4 has a very strong narrative. And so I can play the Halo 4 campaign. I think there are some strong moments, but I think the Prometheans fall flat as enemies. So and then Halo 5, I think the campaign is atrocious, but the multiplayer is awesome. The multiplayer is
Oh yeah,
great in it. And if it
100%.
was, yeah. And so if it was literally called anything other than Halo, I feel like I would love that game and I would speak so highly of it.
Yeah.
But because it's Halo 5 Guardians, I just think, wow, this is everything that I didn't want. So,
There we go.
interesting answer, but you know, I I think they're good games, like long and short of it.
No, for sure. And I have my grievances with those games specifically. Specifically, five. Five to me is the most departed game where I felt like the marketing hyped me up to be in this mindset of this crazy, outlandish, like, well, like, what's going on with the chief? I'm not sure. And then I listened to actually the podcast. The
Oh,
podcast.
Hunt the Truth. Oh, that
Yeah.
was so cool.
Yes. And it's so funny because a friend of mine actually worked on it. His name's David Chen. I think he produced it.
Wow.
Yeah, because he used to work at Microsoft at the time. And
Mm.
I remember. Oh, by the way, look, a Game Over Greggy has his top 5 co-op. Yeah, his points are there. We beat his points, so there you go.
Oh, hell yeah.
Take that, Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
But the fact that so that comes out, and I'm like, this is really great, and Keegan Michael Key's in it, and even Dragov Hunkar's in it, and I'm like, this is really good. And then the game comes out, I'm like, what were you
Yeah.
leading me to? What? They didn't totally disregard majority of the things you said in there.
Yeah.
Like, there's a part where the Master Chief is dead, and he's not dead, but they don't
Yeah,
explain.
it's like it really felt like they made a game that was only for the people who had read the books, listened to this podcast, read all the graphic novels,
Yeah.
and not for anyone else. And even the people who do that still didn't like it.
Yes. No, 100%. And they even did it in the marketing for the ad campaign too. It's just like,
Yeah.
who's the good guy, Master Chief or this other guy you don't know? And I'm like, the guy that I've been following for 5 games. Of course, it's going to be him.
The guy who has literally only been doing the right thing this entire time,
Exactly.
and who I've played as. Yeah.
And then you meet Locke, which at the time, like, okay, cool. I wasn't watching Luke Cage at the time, so it turns out it's not even his voice, which is hilarious.
Yeah, that was kind of a travesty. That is just his face, and you only get I can't remember the actor's name, but he's only in the shitty Halo Nightfall show that was
Yes.
really not good.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
And it's just like, okay. And then you spend majority of the game now with Master Chief. I say
Yeah.
it's like 70-30. 70% you're with like Buck, which is cool. I'm happy Nathan Fillion's in the game, but at the very least,
Yeah.
like, give me my Master Chief. And I'm like I said, I'm not extended universe stuff, so the blue team is not something I was like aware of. I'm just like, where do they come from?
yeah,
So, but at the very least, I still think there's a lot of love with 343 in the games, and it definitely comes down to the gameplay. I think they've definitely done their best in terms of to make it modern as you possibly can. Adding the fact that even though we just played a whole level, I've been playing Halo now for going on nearly 10 episodes, and I'm not complaining about the speed of the way I walk in this game.
Yes.
Not once. I
Don't get me started. Halo is not a slow game.
No.
The reason why people think it's slow is because the Xbox 360 was locked at 70 FOV.
Yes.
When the FOV, this is one of the things that I absolutely adore about the Master Chief Collection, is that it unlocks the FOV that you can have the slider. And so you can have the slider be at 110 and the game feels like it's it feels like Doom. It feels like you're
Yes.
going a million miles an hour, and it's awesome. Halo is not slow. It's just the FOV.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. This game, plays just as well as a modern game today, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I played,
Yes.
I played Halo 2 a couple years ago, and it still feels the same. I remember it feeling just as good. So I'm excited to go back and go through every single one of these. And Alex, I'm very grateful that you got to be a part of season 1's journey. And
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I got to be a part of this. This was awesome.
again, I mean, what I love, and I said this before we started recording, my favorite thing is, yes, I got to play Halo with a bunch of my friends. I think what has been my favorite experiences so far are the people that I don't have a lot of experience with, and meeting you, Alex, and knowing you, casually, obviously through Twitter DMs and Twitter, interactions and stuff like that. Sometimes through Press YYZ. Getting to have the conversation with you and having the conversation to go the way that it went definitely touched my heart, and I thank you so much for that, Alex.
Well, I'm so glad.
And
thank you for inviting me to be a part of this.
No, absolutely. We definitely got to play Halo Infinity, Halo Infinite when it comes out. Hopefully, we hear something about that sometime soon, or we already did, depending on when this episode comes out. Man,
did you see that insert character here?
Yes, when I saw that person, it was insane. I can't wait.
Yes,
I cannot wait. Man, Cortana, crazy person. We'll see. Yes. We'll see how that all shapes up, and then hopefully we'll play some multiplayer then. For this
absolutely
battle royale comes out as well. But yeah, Alex, where can people find you on the net?
So the two best places that people, well, I will say three places.
Sure.
The three places that people can find me are Twitter. I'm trying to be a little bit more active on it. Blatantly_Alex, because the person who has Blatantly Alex is an inactive account, so I'm never gonna get it. God, damn you. I'm very active on my Instagram, actually, so that's Blatantly Alex. So that's probably like the place where you're gonna see the most like kind of me, just like me hanging out, me doing film student things. I like to flex a lot about what I'm doing, so that's a good place. And then also Press YYZ. Best place for that is probably twitch.tv/PressYYZ, as well as @PressYYZ on Twitter. I retweet them sometimes. Most of the time I forget, so you'll see it eventually.
That's me. That's me with Point in Progress all the time, so don't worry.
Yeah. So yeah, those are three big places. Yeah.
No, fantastic. And of course, you can find me here always at Halo Forever, but you can also find me at my podcast that I do with a bunch of friends called Point in Progress. We are both a YouTube and a podcast, so you should be able to find us on all those platforms where we talk video games. And boy, that E3 week nearly killed us. So definitely check out all the stuff that we did. That is definitely happened. So please enjoy all of that. But until next time, again, this is actually the pen. This is crazy. This is the pen ultimate episode of season 1. So it's a little crazy. But let's finish this fight.
Wake me when you need me.